If you are someone who has already started your animation journey and maybe you are learning from institutions, colleges, or from online courses, or maybe from a mentor, and if you are looking for some tips to become an animator, then I have something to share with you. So here are 5 important tips for you to become an animator. Now again, these are not in a particular order. You can take it one after the other, or maybe in any particular order you want. So the first tip I want to share is observation. When you start your animation journey, start observing the things which are around you. So maybe if you are going into a lift, then look at the faces of the people, how they have the expression, how they are standing, where is the weight, how their hand gestures are, how is their body pose. When you go out in a mall, look at the people and observe all those people, how they are traveling, how they are walking. And if somebody is having a unique posture or a unique way of talking or walking or any body pose, then you can observe all those things and keep it in your mind, and how this will help you to become an animator. So when you start working on an animation shot, suppose you get an animation shot where you have to animate the characters in the lift, and now because of your observation, you observed those people consciously, how they stand, how they look, how they do the act. You can implement the same thing, recollect it in your mind and put it in your shot, and that is how you can bring the actual reality into your shot and not only just putting random things, right? So this is the most important tip, observation. If you want to become an animator, start observing the things around you very consciously. Now it may be your home, it may be a mall, it may be a lift, any situation. Maybe it's an intense situation or a romantic situation, but observe everything consciously, how you do it, how people do it. That is going to help you a lot in your animation journey. Now the second tip I'm sharing is watch animated films frame by frame. Now you might be watching animated films for enjoyment, for entertainment. Now when it comes to becoming an animator, if you actually looking to create that thing, then you need to understand how they have created that, what principles they have used, how they have done it, how the character is moving, acting, right? So all those things you cannot understand by looking with an entertainment perspective. You need to have a perspective of an animator. So you have to look into the film with the animator's eye. Now how do you do that? You can have any media player where you can go frame by frame. You can have VLC player, you can have QuickTime player where you can shift frame by frame, and you also have a media player classic. So these are the three, and there are a lot of other players as well. So you can use that, you can play a film in those players, and there will be an option to play frame by frame, maybe arrow key, maybe something else, key shortcuts. So you can actually see how every frame the character is moving, what is the pose, how is that character transitioning, right? How is their expression changing from one to other, or the position switching from one to other. This is going to help you big time in your animation journey, guaranteed. You just try doing this and this will help you a lot in your animation. Now the third tip I want to share is acting. What does that mean? So you need to turn on your camera, and maybe if you like any shot in a film, so what you do is edit that shot, cut it out, and separately play that audio in a speaker or maybe in a phone and play it continuously in loop. And what you do is place your camera in a particular angle which you want in your animation shot and try acting on that sound. What you can add more, how you can act, how can you deliver that performance. Now there are a lot of ways, right? A particular sound, you have a lot of things to do. Somebody can act in different ways, someone else can have a different idea or maybe a different plot or a situation to speak that same dialogue. So you need to think on that, and you need to keep on acting. Now why acting? Because this is going to help you in, first thing is removing your camera fear. And this is very important, because when you start your animation journey in good studios in Hollywood or maybe some international studios, and even if you are in Indian studios which are having good quality projects, there is a process where you need to act the shot and then you need to get it approved and then only you can actually start doing the animation in your software. Before that you cannot do it. So for you to be prepared, at the very first place you need to start acting. So this is very important. The next tip I want to share is imagine. Start imagining the situation. A particular situation cannot happen in one way, right? There are a lot of different ways where you can do the same thing, right? And that is why we see all the films coming in a different fashion, having a different story, having a different type of animation, right? And why is it happening? Because of imagination. And this is the first place we see, right? When a person has imagination very strong, then we say that animation is the right choice for you, because this is a field where you need your creativity, and creativity comes from imagination. You need to think out of the box. You need to think what more you can put into the shot, what more you can deliver in the performance, and which will impact the audience. You need to think it from the audience's perspective and imagine the thing. Typically when you start giving a test for animation studios, and if you are actually targeting good studios, then they will give you only the sound, and you need to actually do the acting and think and imagine what you can do in that shot, right? There will be only a plot given to you that this is a person in this situation. Now you need to imagine what that person will do in that particular situation. That is imagination. And plus here you will have your observation also coming in. So whatever you might have observed in the past in your real life, you can put it in the shot, and you can imagine more crazy things about that particular scene and take it to the next level. So this is another tip for you to become a better animator. Now the last tip I want to share with all of you guys who are looking to become a good animator is, wherever you are learning from, focus on the steps, learn the right process. That is what I will share, is because a lot of students I have seen, you can say almost 90 to 95% of the animation students who are actually learning the animation, they are actually learning it in the wrong way. I don't mean that wherever they are learning from they are teaching wrong or they are teaching something bad. That is not the case. But when you actually come into the production studios, there is a process. There is a process built to actually deliver that performance, and that process is designed on the basis of where the file will go next, right? When you actually practice, when you actually do the animation and learn from any place, they will teach you the animation, right? So you are going to do the animation and you will not think about what is going to be next. It is just related to you, it is just limited to you. And when you actually learn the right process, you think about the people who are going to handle your file after you finish your animation, and that is how it will go to the cache, and then the rendering, and then the editing. So you need to think from that perspective and follow the right process. Now again, there is one more important thing I want to share, is why to follow the right process, right? I have seen a lot of students doing just copying the things, or there are a lot of people who are just tracing the animation which is done earlier. Now in this case, what happens is you actually don't learn the things. You just keep on copying and you actually don't know why that pose is that way, or why is that posture in that manner, why the character is having that expression. Those things are not clear with you because you are just copying the things. Now imagine that you are put in a situation where you have to create an animation just from the idea. Now an idea is a fresh idea, right? You can't have the same idea in the market, right? Exactly same thing, people will not be thinking the exact same thing, so you will not have the exact reference. Now how will you duplicate it? How will you trace it if you don't have any reference? That is why it's important to learn the right process. And the feeling of overwhelming, right? When you watch any Disney film or animated film, you see and you feel that how they are creating this great quality of animation, right? It's so difficult, it might be so difficult, and when you actually start tracing it out, you feel that it's actually difficult. Now this is because you are not knowing the right process. If you know the right process, just the way we do it in school, when you go to school, when you start your schooling right from the junior or the senior, teachers teach you ABCD, right? They teach you the letters, then the words, then the sentence. it goes step by step. You cannot just go to the school and directly tell that I want to write an essay, right? So there is a process. The same way there is a process in animation to do the things step by step, and that is how you can actually achieve the quality of a Hollywood film. And I have done this. I teach this to my mentees, and they are also confident about now reaching that level and actually doing it, that quality of animation. And now they don't get overwhelmed that how do I do it. Now they know the right process. So if you are the one who are maybe doing animation but you are not actually learning the right things, if you feel that you need to upgrade your skill, or if you feel that you need to start your animation journey in some good quality projects or maybe some international studios, then mention in the comment section. My team will reach out to you and we will help you about the animation journey. I hope this video was helpful to you and you learned a lot of things, and I'm sure that you will implement these things in your journey so that you can become a good animator. So that's all for the video. I will see you in the next video. This is Naresh Choudhary. See you soon.